Despite a deepening recession and one of the heaviest debt burdens in the world, Italy is on the path to recovery and is more resilient than is commonly believed. So says Enrico Cucchiani. He's chief executive of Italy's second largest bank, Intesa CEO. Thank you very much for talking to Reuters. Do you think Italy will now seek aid, seek financial assistance through the ESM?
Frankly speaking, I don't think it will. I think that Italy is doing what it takes to get out of the current situation, and it will do so aggressively. It will continue according to the guidelines established and followed so far very effectively by Mario Monti. And basically Italy has what it takes to solve its own problems.
But of course, seeking aid now, seeking a formal programme of assistance is now seen as a good thing. Up until last week, it was seen as a bad thing.
Well, it is seen as a good thing, but frankly speaking, I'm not so keen on these assessments of good or bad. The important thing is to do the right things. And I think fundamentally the Italian economy is in better shape than many believe. It is true that we have a very high debt to GDP. But it is also true that the state has abundant assets, many more assets than would be the case in other countries. And if you look at the wealth to GDP of the country, it is one of the highest. Also, Italy has a very robust industrial texture. In fact, the industrial belt in Europe runs from Hamburg to Florence, and the Italian industry is very similar to the German industry. So I think that we have a lot of things going. The austerity package is working well, and
But the recession is deepening.
Yes, of course. We are going through a recession that will continue also in 2013, I believe, but the recession will slow down and eventually things will come back. Of course, whenever you do anything, when you deal with policy, the impact is not immediate. There is a time lag and we have to be patient, but I'm convinced that we are doing the right things. And I believe that the markets are acknowledging that.
So will you increase your holdings of Italian government bonds?
I think that our policy will be basically unaffected. We have always bought significant amounts of Italian debt, very short maturity. I don't think that we are going to have any significant shift in policy.
What's your view on the EU proposals for banking union? Do you think it's right the ECB should supervise all 6,000 Eurozone banks?
I believe so. I believe that the banking union is a fundamental step towards a greater integration of Europe, and the two key measures are common supervisory activities for all the banking institutions within the Eurozone and a common insurance program for deposits.
How soon can this be achieved?
Well, that depends upon the intricacies of Brussels and Frankfurt and getting all the people around the table to agree and to move specifically in this direction. But I think perhaps more slowly than desirable, but we are all moving in that direction.
Final question, I want to ask about your restructuring plans. There are reports you're going to close up to 1,000 retail branches in Italy. Is that correct?
I would not focus on numbers. I think that we are facing a common trend in continental Europe and certainly in Italy, that is the system is overbranched. Now consumers wanted to do their transactions via mobile devices, computers and so on 24/7, and brick and mortar is far less essential than it was years ago. And so we have to move in that direction.